And we have just completed phase 3 of the Digital Freedom Platform. I just want to send a massive thanks out to the entire London Real army across the world. I mean, I'm blown away. I'm just blown away. As you know, I've never asked for a single donation in the history of London Real. And yet when it comes to this platform, I can't do this without you. Can't do this without the London Real army in any way. Can't do any of this without you unless we have a force of people who demand the truth, who demand that we're not censored anymore, who demand basic human rights of freedom of speech and freedom of the press. I can't do this. And all of you showed up in a massive way and donated. And I know these times are difficult and I really appreciate this. Now we only have 6 days left of fundraising and I'm moving into phase 4. And that is we're building an app. We're finally going to have a digital app for Android and iOS that you can basically touch a button and watch all of our band content, stream live, things like Dr. Rashid Buttar, David Icke, all of those things from your phone. This is something you've been asking me for, honestly, for years, but we've just never had the resources to do it. So we're going to build this Digital Freedom app and have it for your phone that anybody in the world can have it. That way we're not subject to, service providers and hacking attacks and malicious, all this stuff that we've been trying to deal with, and you can have it. So that's the next chunk of fundraising. And lastly, there will be phase 5, and that is setting up a legal fund to where we can go after some of these trillion-dollar companies. And I spoke with a great lawyer on Friday who said basically this. He said, Brian, there's a precedent with the London Stock Exchange where even though it's a private company, it's also a public utility. Since it's a public utility, it must follow the basic laws in that location. And in our location, EU has a civil rights law which says that our rights to freedom of speech must be protected, which means we can go after some of these trillion-dollar companies and said you're actually breaking a law because you're no longer a private company that I have to submit to your community policy, which of course you can subjectively interpret however you want and catches everything. Now, actually, since you're a public utility, which you are, this matters. He said also something very interesting. He said in this COVID-19 lockdown, these private companies are actually public communication services, right? Look at every ad at the bottom of the video you're watching about coronavirus. It's got links to the local health services. So it's even more so a public utility, which means it has to follow the basic guidelines of law and of human rights in the entity or in the location that it's in. So I don't know if that legal nonsense made any sense to you, but it means that we've really got a case. So what I'd like to do is prepare a legal fund and go ahead and see if we can re-platform this banned content to these networks. And I think we can do it. And I found the guy that's going to do it for us. As you know, legal fees can get a little crazy, but I've also told him that you should be taking this case almost like Roe v. Wade, almost like, one of those epic cases that you can actually hang yourself on or hang your hat on. So doing some negotiation, but it will take some funds. So that's what that next wave will be. So again, we're closing this thing out on May 3rd. Again, anything you can give, we would really appreciate. It's londonreal.tv/freedom. Look, with great power comes great responsibility. I am a custodian, and I am going to use these funds in the best way possible only to fight for our digital freedom. That's it. And so I'm setting up a whole structure now here, a whole entity, a whole way of showing you where every single dollar is spent. So you can see, it was used to stream Icke, to stream Rashid Buttar, to build the app, to start working on our blockchain. I mean, every single thing is going to be accounted for, but without the resources, we can't do anything. So this is a war chest for freedom. Again, londonreal.tv/freedom. Give whatever you can. I'm going to list the founding members of this thing. And we're all going to look back in 10 or 20 years and say, who was the one that stepped up? Were you the one that fought with us on the front lines, willing to bleed and die and have everything lost? Your business is taken from you, your reputation crushed. Were you willing to fight for freedom? Or were you someone that sat back and let other people fight for your freedom? That's my question. So be a part of it. Give whatever you can today. I would really appreciate it. It's going to make a massive difference. Let's build this app. Let's build this legal fund. And let's take the fight to them. That's the plan, because we will not be silenced. We will not be censored. We will not be stopped. Join the resistance. Join London Real, and let's do this.